it going, good people? Rob here, Old City Vapor, with another episode of Weird Wednesday. Today's story is another part of the old town of St. Augustine, the nation's oldest city. Um, Hence the name Old City Vapors. Anyway, like I say, St. Augustine is the nation's oldest city, and it also houses the oldest masonry fort in the continental United States, known as the Castillo de San Marcos. It's downtown on the bayfront, um, and it was actually began construction October 2nd of 1672. Took 23 years to complete it, and it was completed in 1695. That's a long, long time ago. So there's been a lot of history go down on and in and around those grounds. Just that one part of St. Augustine right there, not to mention the whole rest of the town. But yeah, I mean, there were Spanish soldiers there, there were Native Americans, there's been, you know, army people. Over the years, it's been all sorts of different things. Um, Even after it was completed, there was still some other construction on the interior of the fort that took place um, when it was built way back in those times. It was built. They brought a bunch of people over from like Cuba and surrounding areas, nearby sort of surrounding areas, and as well as a bunch of Native Americans. And while I don't know the total history, I'm pretty sure they didn't like hire them and pay them by the hour to work on the fort. Um, yeah. Anyways, uh, it's been called several things. Like I say, the Castillo de San Marcos. It's been called Fort St. Mark. It's been called Fort Marion. Um, yeah, it's been several things over the years. By the way, in case you wonder what I'm vaping today, it is from the Juice Witch, and it is called Hex. And I'll be doing a review on it soon. It's good stuff. Um, so yeah, you know, the fort's obviously been there many, many, many a years, and I grew up there. I'm 50 now. I grew up there, lived here my whole life. My mom used to take me there when I was a kid. We'd fly kites on the fort lawn. We would fish off the seawall. You know, right, like I say, it's right on the bayfront there. Um, I believe I caught my first flounder with my mom right there off that seawall. Um, yeah, it's been there tons and tons of years. Like I say, I grew up there, hung out when I was a kid, hung out a lot more when I was a teenager. Tended to hang out more at night, doing stuff that teenagers do. And even, you know, later years, I would still hang out there at night, and a lot of times. Uh, Growing up, there even when I was little, there was always one place that I just wasn't comfortable at. At the fort. The place fascinated me. It still does to this day. Every time I go in there, I can't help but wonder, you know, what it was like, 100 years ago or 200 years ago there. And just think of all the things that went down there. But there's one place in particular that has always kind of bugged me about the place. And of course, it's rumored to be haunted. There's several stories, from the couple that were supposedly found in the dungeon, chained up. A couple of skeletons were found in the dungeon. There's that story. There's the story of, the Spanish soldiers that can be seen sometimes at night, on top of the fort. The one where you put your ear to the wall on the fort, kind of like listening in a big seashell. You can hear the ocean. Well, you put your head on the fort and you can hear, cannons and gunshots and people talking and screaming and who knows what. Um, One of the kind of lesser known stories about the fort is the one place in particular that has always kind of made me uneasy. I've been on several ghost tours, in and around the fort. I've been in there at night, uh, illegally. No, did I just say? No, I didn't say that. Uh, and I've also been in there on a ghost tour and some other things. Even went to Easter Sunday church there one year on top of the fort, and I have to say that was a pretty cool place to have Easter Sunday church. Went there, took my mom there, and it was pretty awesome. Anyway, um, there again, seeing the sun come up from the top of the fort, uh, I can't help but wonder how many people before me saw that, and some that saw it come up and never saw it go down. Anyway, uh, that's just me being weird. Um, the one place that always kind of gave me the freakouts a little bit, for some reason, is one of the exterior walls of the fort on the outside. It was later on in the years that, um, well, I'll show you some video of it, and I'll see if I can talk with the video here. So here is the old fort, and coming up here will be the one part of the fort that kind of freaks me out a little bit. Um, it's this part of the outside wall of the fort. If you notice, there are a lot of holes here. And you'll see a picture of me coming up here in just a minute. And I kind of wonder why all the holes are right at kind of head and chest, body, torso level. This is supposedly the execution wall, and there are a couple of places right in this area where, yeah, it looks like numerous people were shot and killed here. That's how the story goes. I have been on a ghost tour here, and a couple of times it was not a big deal, but there's always been reports of people, getting really uneasy and just feeling really weird and stuff right here. And here is a picture um, that you can check out. Now, supposedly that guy that's just to the left there in this picture, the one with the real tall, weird collar, this was during a ghost tour, and several people were there, and no one reported seeing this guy with the tall, high collar and the kind of colonial looking sleeves on his arms there. The guy there that is in this picture is probably one of the, I don't know, one of the more well talked about ghost pictures from the fort area. His name is supposedly, he's a pirate named Andrew Ransom, and he wasn't seen by anybody when this photo was taken, and it was kind of discovered in the photograph afterwards, and after it was taken. So, whether that story is true or not, if that picture is real or not, who knows? But I do know that in that same area there, along the execution wall, supposedly, it is quite peculiar how there are so many what look like bullet holes. They're really nowhere else around the fort, just in that one area. Um, Several holes. They're all like head to chest level, pretty much. They're concentrated in that. There's some stray shots here and there, high and low, but the majority of them are concentrated right in the vital organ section. um, So who knows? I have been on several ghost tours there, and a couple of them have talked about it. And one in particular wasn't a ghost tour, but it was more of a paranormal investigation type thing that I went on a long time ago. And I didn't say anything to anybody about it. Uh, the actually girl that was leading the investigation was kind of one of these things where they, you know, taught everybody how to do, ghost hunt or whatever, and gave everybody equipment and would take you to a place and kind of let you do your own thing, with some assistance, or you could ask questions or whatever. But she pretty much let our group go, and everybody kind of gravitated toward that area. And it wasn't just one or two people, kind of everyone got to that area. Everybody was getting strange readings on their, meters and stuff, and a few people had just really weird. One lady in particular had this, she almost like had a breakdown right there. She kind of freaked out a little bit. Um, who knows, Uh, it's interesting to me, anyways. I hope you guys find it interesting as well. So let me know. Let me know. Give me some other ideas if you want me to talk about any other places around St. Augustine in particular. There's going to be a bunch of those to cover as well. So there you have it. Strange happenings around the old town over the last several, who knows how many hundreds of years. Anyway, that's it. I'm gonna take another vape of my Hex here from the Juice Switch. Got it in a K-Fun that I picked up at the VCCT convention down in Tampa, and gotta say, this thing rocks, man. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. As always, we'll be back with quite a few more videos, and you guys take care. Thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting, and thanks for all the subscriptions, the likes, and everything else, emails, and all. You guys rock. Talk to you soon.